Hey there, WCATY students. This is your technology coordinator. This help video is going to walk you through the process for doing your portfolios. First couple things, when you go into your class, you should look at the links in the intro section. There should be some information in the class policies, as well as the student guide and pathways on how we go about doing your assessment for WCATY. So if we click on pathways, there are 4 other links in here that explain what your goal is about midterm final reports, how do you know if you're growing, and so on. For midterms and final reports, that's when you will receive a number grade. The number grades, there's 2 number grades. One is a growth grade. We look at your overall growth in each area of reading, writing, and interaction. And then for most classes, you will do 1 portfolio at midterm, and then you'll do the other 2 portfolios at the end of the class. And then for final grade, you'll have the 2 portfolio number grades as well as another growth grade, again looking at your overall growth in reading, writing, and interaction. And 2 areas of growth we're looking at are, did you not receive the same learning goal? So if you received the check spelling, grammar, punctuation learning goal, you only received that once. And did you show progression from novice up to professional? Not necessarily getting to professional, but you didn't get all novice learning goals. You got harder learning goals as you were doing your work. So as for the portfolios, the midterm ones are found in week 3. Again, your instructor will let you know which one of the 3 you need to do for midterms. And then the ones for the end are in week 7. Same directions, you just post them in different spots. So if we go into interact growth, or not growth, my bad. Let's try that again. Interactive discussion portfolio. You're going to see 4 steps. First step, you pick your piece of work, and notice that there are examples of each step as well to kind of help you. And it also shows you how portfolios are graded. There's a link up here. Step 2, you revise your work. Your revision should be made in a different color so we can see what changes you made. So if you look at that example, you'll note the changes in here are kind of gray. So I made a change there, there's a change here, and so on. So you want to go through your piece of work and revise it. Step 3, you annotate. So you go and you use the core elements of, for interaction is core elements of discussion, core elements of reading, core elements of writing. If we open that up, it gives you a list of different skills. You need to pick some of these and show in your piece of work where you demonstrated these skills or where you might improve on these skills. So let's quickly look at the example for this one. So here at the beginning, for the annotation, they put timeliness. And this is where something they need to work on. I need to work on posting my response earlier in the week to allow for discussion on it. The peer editing, support, balance. You can repeat one once if you want, but using different ones is probably the better way to go about it. Then the final step is a reflection. You're going to write at least a paragraph that addresses one or more of the questions. Do not list answers. You want to write a well-sequenced, thought-out piece or reflection. So basically you want to write about, okay, I have this awesome piece. Why is it awesome? And where can I take this piece next? What could I do? And that's where these questions kind of come into play. So you pick a couple of those to write your reflection on. And again, here's an example. And this is everything. This is the example of your end result. So piece of work, I got my revisions in a different color. I've got my annotations bolded next to the example of where I am demonstrating that skill. And then I have my minimum paragraph reflection at the end.